it is Katie, and I'm here with a studio workshop, special visual arts activity that you can follow along at home. Now, today we're going to be doing some paper cuts, and this is in relation to the next bit. The next step, what you lot are going to be looking at, is Anansi the Spider, which is all about Caribbean folklore. Now, when you get a chance to look at the books, you will see that a lot of the stories are illustrated in a similar style to a famous artist called Matisse. Now, Matisse was in the last century, in the 1900s, and he started off painting, but as he got older, he started really getting into what he called drawing with scissors. So here's some examples here, and we're going to be looking at this artist today as practice to develop some of our visual art skills, sort of leading up to our new project about Anansi the Spider and Caribbean folklore and stories, and there's lots of colour and there's lots of cutting sticking out, so it's going to be really cool and fun, hopefully. So here's some of the examples. As you can see, they're super bright and colourful. This one is a particular favourite of mine. It looks like a lot of seaweed and apples just on the ground. Now, this one's an interesting one because even though it doesn't look like anything, it is an abstract piece of art, which means it's not meant to look like anything straight off the bat, but you can find different things in it. So this one is actually called the snail, and you can see it's got like a little movement to the shapes and stuff. So we're not looking for beautiful, perfect renditions, like pictures that look exactly like what we're supposed to do. We're just here to have some fun, just to get colourful, get some shapes cut out, and just practice some of our visual art skills. So these are quite nice as well. They've got some little human shapes. And you can see he's only used one colour, and he's not even drawn out any outlines or anything. He's purely done these people out of cutting out shapes of pieces of paper, and that's what we're going to try today. So you can make it super simple and sort of elegant like that, or you can really layer up and really go to town on your piece and add lots of different elements and lots of different colours and all sorts. So I'll move that to one side. So for this activity you will need some coloured paper. Now, in your packs, you've got this lovely sugar paper, it's called, and it's really nice for cutting out and sticking because it's got a nice texture to it. When you feel it, it's really soft and isn't squeaky or anything. It's really nice just to handle and to use cutting out. So you should probably have these colours, and they'll be in your box packs, or if you're also a member of Studio Arts, it might be in your paper file as well. So that's enough colours to get started. But if you really enjoy this, you can go out and get some coloured paper or all sorts of colour in, paint the paper for this. Anything you like, really. Cool. So I'll put that to one side. So moving on to another example is one that I've made using if I clear this out of the way so you can see it properly, really see it nice and clearly. All these different shapes. So I've sort of took inspiration from this one here of really going to town, adding lots of shapes and colours. Even though I've only got 4 colours in this piece, you can still make it super jazzy, super groovy, add lots of different stuff on there. So this one in particular is about a man on an adventure in a jungle at night, because there's the moon and there's all the trees and all like scary beasts hiding in the jungle and stuff. So you can really have some fun, and you can also make little stories out of your pictures as well, which is really nice and easy to do. So cool. So we'll do a little one together. Now, a good starting place is actually thinking, what colour, what paper do I want as my background? So you can see with this one, I've actually used some of the coloured paper as the background, which I think really gives it a really good start. You're not starting on white and fresh. You've got a really nice, colourful thing to start with. So that's a good start. Now, another challenge I'm going to set you lot, I think you're capable of it though, is we're not going to use any pencils or pens to draw out our shapes. So let's go through it. So you've got your piece of paper, and what I normally do is cut a small chunk off so you're not faffing about with this massive piece of paper. And like I say, Matisse called it drawing with scissors. So we're not going to draw a shape and cut around it. We're just going to go straight in there and cut. Now, because this might be a bit tricky and a bit fiddly, we're not going to worry about making some perfect shape. You can really just start off with something really simple. So I'm going to do a little leaf here. You see, that was really just a case of seeing it. Have a go, just see where the scissors take you. You can really just practice doing a few circles. Or you might want to do a little triangle, so you can just snip off the edge. However you feel like. You might even see some bit and you think, oh, that's quite a nice shape in itself, so you might just snip an edge off. And so don't worry about gluing them down just yet. Just get some shapes cut out. So let's go for another colour. Let's go for some yellow, because that stands out really nicely. So again, I'm just going to cut a small chunk off, like that. And I think for this one, so I'll show you a little bit more of a complex one, once you get confident, is you can do little leaf shapes. So you see, I'm just going straight in there. And the thing is with this, it doesn't have to be perfect or neat or symmetrical. You can just go for it. Just cut out some shapes and have fun with it. Look at that. So we've got a little leaf there. It's pretty cool. What else should we do? I think a little rectangle just to chill there. So I'm going really super abstract and simple with this, but if you really enjoy this, really do take your time, and you can spend all afternoon just doing some cutting and sticking. It can be really therapeutic just to be like, just there cutting out shapes. So let's do a bit of purple. So I think let's do a little wiggly worm. So instead of drawing, you're just going to move the paper or the scissors, whichever you find easier, to create your shape. It could be a little bit fiddly at first, but with a little bit of practice, you can really pick it up really easily. Now, obviously, you can see my fingers are really close to the scissors there, so please do be careful with them. I've been doing this style for a long time, so I'm pretty confident using my scissors for cutting out. But if you want, just really take your time, don't rush, and just watch what you're doing. Now, we've started to get a few shapes there. I'll put my scissors down, and you see I've not glued them down yet. I'm just going to arrange them so you can really have fun playing around with your shapes, seeing what you can make. So you might think, oh, there's a little face there. That's quite fun, actually. You see those of his eyes and his nose and his little mouth. It's a bit like a little jack-o'-lantern, and that can be, I don't know, his hair or something. I'll put that on there. And then you might think, like with these are all little bits that from my previous piece I've cut out. And you might look through them and you think, oh, that's quite an interesting shape by itself, even though it's just what I cut another shape out of. And see if you can use that. That looks pretty cool there, I quite like that. Have a little ratch around, or you might have quite a big bit still cut out. So you don't need to keep hacking into your big piece of paper. You think, what's this? And it might help you inform what shape you want to cut out next. So that had a nice curve in it already, so I think I'm going to turn that into another moon, to a little crescent moon, because why not? Because I've got the curve already, so it could be like a little hat, something there. So as you can see, you can really just spend so long doing this. And think about layering your colours, so you can see you can put things on top of each other. And you might think, oh, that could go there actually. Really just play around, putting your shapes down, seeing what happens. You never know what you might find in your pictures. Little simple bits there. Ooh, what about that there? So the more you cut out, the more you'll have these little leftover shapes. So, that's to finish off. What should we do? Should we do another little person? So you can see, following along with my scissors, you see I'm moving the paper, and that's helping guide where I cut. You see, I'm not doing a lot of snipping. I really am just moving the paper through the blades almost, keeping the scissors almost stationary and moving the paper around to make lots of wiggly patterns. Now I'm doing a person here, but like I say, once more, you really don't worry about making something super accurate. Just enjoy it. And when we start looking at Anansi the spider and the Caribbean folklore, we can start looking properly at how to illustrate stories. But this is really just to get a little bit of practice in and see how you get on, really. Have a bit of fun. Because like I say, as I always say, art should be fun. It should be something that you enjoy doing. There we go, a little person there. Super simple. And where should we stick him? Like that. So once you're happy with the layout, so like I say, I've just done this quickly for a demo, you can start sticking down your bits. So, there we go. And you can just move the paper about on top of your glue stick, like so. Plop that down there. Smooth it down. And just move the paper over the thing, over the glue stick, and let's put that there. Like that. I won't bore you, but you don't need to watch me stick everything down, but you get the idea. Stick everything down, and once you're happy, you can end up with a nice picture for yourself. Now, I think that's everything got to say for now about that. Like I said, I just hope you enjoy it. Be careful with your scissors. And if you want some research, look up Matisse. Matisse. And you'll find some hundreds of really colourful, groovy pictures. Yeah, so happy cutting, sticking, and you're drawing with scissors. Keep practising. I promise it'll get a lot easier over time. Cool, right. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!